Hi, I'm Charlotte Hebert, author of Meditate and Experience God, Saints, Scriptures, and Science Point the Way. In this video, to give you an idea of what my book is about and to hopefully pique your interest in it, we will explore what science says about God, or more specifically, how the field of quantum physics meshes very well with the Eastern esoteric mode of thought. Now, the first thing that is important to understand is that the model of reality that quantum physics portrays is an entirely different model than the one portrayed by classical Newtonian physics, as first described by Newton. Newtonian physics works very well when describing the gross material world we see everywhere around us. However, when we get to the subatomic particle level, which is the realm of quantum mechanics, all of the classical rules are thrown out the window. Quantum physics describes an entirely different kind of world, and this world very much meshes with what Eastern esoteric thought has said about the nature of reality for thousands of years. For the purpose of this video, we will look at just 3 aspects of quantum physics which have been proven and are accepted by scientists the world over. The first is that the same subatomic object can appear to be a particle, which is a separate solid object with a specific location in space and time, or a wave spread out over space and time. And what makes the difference, amazingly enough, is our observation, our consciousness. Unobserved, unmeasured electrons behave as waves, but the minute we observe them, they collapse into a particle and can be measured and located. A second aspect of quantum physics is that subatomic particles can be in 2 or more places at the same time. In fact, one experiment recently showed that an object can be in 3,000 places at one time. And a third aspect is the idea of entanglement, which states that when an experimenter arranges to have 2 subatomic particles created at the same time so that they are then entangled or in superposition, and she then disperses them to opposite ends of the universe, and she then does something to one particle to change its state, the other particle is instantaneously affected in the same way. Quantum physics, to put it in a word, is baffling. It flies against the face of everything classical Newtonian physics predicts. Per Niels Bohr, who in 1922 was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for work on the atom and quantum mechanics. Those who are not shocked when they first come across quantum theory cannot possibly have understood it. And per Richard Feynman, who in 1965 was awarded the Nobel Prize for the development of quantum electrodynamics. I think I can safely say that nobody understands quantum mechanics. Yet exist it does. Furthermore, these 3 aspects of quantum mechanics which we have discussed point to the inseparable wholeness of reality. The fact that reality is non-localized, intimately linked, and outside of space and time, and to the fact that consciousness is of primary importance within reality. Both of these points are key aspects of Eastern esoteric thought, to wit, that consciousness or God is everywhere, both within us and outside of us, that we're all one, that we're all linked. Representing the Eastern esoteric model of thought, Paramahansa Yogananda has said, "The Hindu sages and yogis say that matter is materialized mind stuff. In the Vedanta and yoga philosophies, the universe is spoken of as God's dream. Modern science shows that matter, from stones and stars to man, is nothing more than different forms of electronic vibrations. In reality, only cosmic mind exists, the one link which unites everything in the universe." Let us now examine what renowned physicists have to say, and we will see the profound parallels between Eastern thought and Western science. Physicist Amit Goswami, Ph.D., author of The Self-Aware Universe, invokes facts in quantum mechanics to suggest a transcendent domain of reality, where transcendence means the state of extending beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Per Goswami, the experiment of Alan Aspect and his collaborators directly shows that when two quantum objects are correlated, if we measure one, thus collapsing its wave function, the other's wave function is instantly collapsed as well, even at a macroscopic distance, even when there is no signal in space-time to mediate their connection. Einstein, however, proved that all connections and interactions in the material world must be mediated by signals traveling through space, the locality principle, and thus must be limited by the speed of light. Where, then, exists the instantaneous connection between correlated quantum objects that is responsible for their signalless action at a distance? The succinct answer is in the transcendent domain of reality. The message of quantum non-locality is that the fundamental process of nature lies outside space-time, but generates events that can be located in space-time. And John Hagelin, Ph.D., a world-renowned quantum physicist, educator, and author, who conducted pioneering research at CERN, the European Center for Particle Physics, said this regarding the inseparable wholeness of reality and the fundamental nature of consciousness. The beginning of the universe is when pure consciousness creates within its essentially unified nature the threefold structure of observer, observed, and the process of observation. There is a very intimate relationship between the observer and the observed. They are ultimately united as one inseparable wholeness at the basis of creation, which is the unified field, which is also our own innermost consciousness, the self. An astrophysicist, Bernard Haisch, Ph.D., in his book, The God Theory, makes a case for an infinite conscious intelligence whose purpose in creating the world is for the transformation of potential into experience. I am proposing that ultimately it is consciousness that is the origin of matter, energy, and the laws of nature in this universe and all others that may exist. And the purpose is for God to experience his potential. God's ideas and abilities become God's experience in the life of every sentient being. That's what it's all about. Let us conclude with some quotes on the topic of spirituality by Albert Einstein. The most beautiful and profound emotion we can experience is the sensation of the mystical. It is the power of all true science. The more I study the universe, the more I believe in a higher power. I want to know God's thoughts. All the rest are details. We have very briefly looked at what science, particularly the field of quantum physics, says about God. More information can be found in my book, Meditate and Experience God. Saints, Scriptures, and Science Point the Way. I hope you'll check it out. It's available on Amazon, or click the link below to order. I think you'll be glad you did.